movies for Black girl nerds.
Thank you so much. Matt, it is a pleasure. Thank you for a marvelous, a magical season. 9 episodes. When you reflect on how the season has progressed, we have one more left. Did you have expectations? Marvel has a reputation of not missing. So did you have expectations, hopes? What did you hope to accomplish with this season?
Gosh, we're blown away by the response to it and never could have imagined that it would have been received so positively. When you start, you just want to tell your story. And it's great to finally be able to peel back the layers. We're almost at our finale. And after episode 8, hopefully people can look back at some of those earlier episodes and see them in a fresh light, understanding how the world was created, why the world was created. It is a story ultimately about love and about loss and about how we grieve.
Well, let's just dispel all the rumors right now about the hex. Let's just say the hex is not really indicative of something else. It's just because we're all under Wanda's hex. So can we dispel that right now, that the hex doesn't even mean
anything? If you'd like, sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that with the working title. Looking at as I went back and I did that, I looked at some of the past episodes and read the episode descriptions, and I thought about how all the characters were introduced to us during the course of the season. How we might have one or two here, and then a cluster of them there, like a beehive. And now we have fewer people that we need to meet because we're winding down. Some of those people that we saw earlier, will we see them again? Were they Easter eggs, or were they more like seeds, like Mrs. Hart or Dottie or any of those folks?
Yeah, you'll definitely see a lot of those people that you've met before in the episode upcoming.
Mm-hmm. With the finale coming, I thought about some of the past Easter eggs that were real cool hat tips to the universe. What were some of your eggs that were a lot of fun to drop in the earlier episodes, and ones that you put there that people didn't react to them as much as you thought they would?
There's been so much great reaction. Everybody has been watching the show under a microscope, which is great. And I love to see the fan theories. I love that a show that we made with so much passion and care has been received with so much passion and care. I love seeing the theories. I don't think many Easter eggs have been missed, to be honest, but it's nice to have maybe some of those commercials earlier on take on greater resonance when you see episode 8 and start to understand a little bit more about how Wanda's journey is trickling out through her subconscious, unconscious mind and the creation of the world around her.
Another thing that I appreciated, I was in a room with some other journalists the other day, and they really liked how the approach to mental health and grieving, like you said, grieving and loved one and loss. What were some of the discussions that you had as creator and director and the creators and writers of how to really address the trauma of what Wanda is experiencing throughout these episodes as we head to the finale?
Wanda has lost more than almost anybody in the Marvel universe. Her parents, her brother, the love of her life. It's been that way in the comics. It's certainly been that way in the MCU. She's really as close as Marvel comics get to talking about mental illness. How do you hold your reality together? How do you continue forward? How do you recover from that loss? And so this show is absolutely a meditation on that. It's a meditation on deep love and grieving, which is why I think so many people responded so well to the beautiful line in episode 8, which is about that, about how, what is grieving, if not love, persevering. The show is very much about how Wanda is going to address this amazing loss, and how will she move forward, or will she move forward from it?
With filming the episodes in different eras, I'm sure you got a chance to try new things, interesting things as a director, with live audience filming and using strings and things for the plates. How has this challenged and made you grow as a director and as you move forward in your career?
Yeah, this has been a real joy. I mean, everything about this show is so unique, and day to day, week to week, we were never doing the same thing twice. We might be doing a coven scene with a bunch of which is in Salem one day and then a live sitcom taping the next. And as filmmakers, everybody had to pivot quickly from day to day, week to week, to bring those worlds to life. But I learned a great deal about myself. I added a whole bunch of new tools to my toolkit, but it also required that I use every tool that I already had in my toolkit, which is great because you don't often get to do that. But I think we started out with recreating sitcoms, and we did that with great love and authenticity. And I think a lot of people were questioning, how did this work in the larger story? And so always we were reminding ourselves from the beginning what this story was truly about, which I think episode 8 kind of pulls the curtain back to show thematically what we've been exploring. And it's just a wonderful way to tell stories, that you can explore the same story about how we all recover from losing someone that we love. And you can tell it through a 1950s sitcom. You can do it through a 60s or 70s, 80s, or you can do it through Monica Rambeau's story of loss and grieving as well, because she's going through the same thing Wanda is, having lost her mom. So there's a lot of meditation that I think we never planned it, but releasing in the middle of a pandemic takes on even greater resonance as we all struggle with I'm sure many of us have experienced loss directly related to that. And so it's taken on even a bit more added resonance perhaps as a result.
As fans, we always are sad when we see our favorite shows come to the end, whether it's a limited series, a season finale, and there's more. Is it the same withdrawal process for the director and the people who bring it to life? Is it a sadness? Is it a relief? What is the feeling like for you as this chapter now closes and you get ready for whatever your next charge is going to be?
It's a great question, and I think it is very much like the stages of grief. You have your depression, you have your acceptance eventually of moving on. And it's all part of it for sure. And this has been a real joy. And it's also been a challenge as we've tried to put this together, half before the pandemic, half after the pandemic, and learning how to work virtually in a way that we didn't have to before. So we've all learned a lot, and it's been a really fun project. I am sad to see it go.
Here's a little crazy question. If you could have an action figure of any of the things from throughout the season, what would you? Are you a collector of action things, and what's a miniature of something you already have, or you would want that took place during this season?
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I do collect stuff, but I didn't actually end up going home with anything. I think there are a lot of wonderful things. I'd probably want a Stark toaster, maybe a Strucker watch might be nice. I don't know. There are a lot of great things. The drone that Lizzie pulls out and throws at Hayward in episode 5 is pretty fun. A lot of fun stuff, but I didn't end up going home with anything.
See, now I set you up. So now if someone goes back and watches, what do we get him to celebrate the finale? Here, we sent you all the things. Here's your watch. Here's all the things that you're going to get from
Wait, let me change the answer. I want a rover. Can I get a rover?
Now, see, those are good, but it has to be a hybrid, though, because we have the Earth conscious.
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
This has truly been an honor and a pleasure to watch this series, to talk with you and the cast over the course of the weeks. It's been fascinating. Episodic TV is great because it kept us all engaged. So I just want to thank you on behalf of Black Girl Nerds for a fabulous season. And we truly are excited to see what's going to happen next week or the end of this week.
Gosh, thank you very much. That's lovely. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the final show.
Thank you. Well, we will. Take care.
Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds.